Welcome to Happy Homes and Gardens. I'm your host. My name is Daphne Royce. I am a real estate broker, architecture, and interior designer. Timothy Waters is the executive director of the Friends of the Children San Francisco Bay Area. Friends of the Children San Francisco Bay Area mentors children from kindergarten through high school graduation, 12 years, no matter what. Let's welcome Timothy, who will share his insights on Friends of the Children San Francisco Bay Area. Hi, Timothy.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. How about you?
I am blessed, and highly favored. Thank you.
Please tell us who you are and how you are involved with the Friends of the Children San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay. I am the executive director of Friends of the Children San Francisco Bay Area. I've been the executive director since September of 2022. I'm originally from New York, born and raised. I completed my education in New England and then went into the private sector for several years. 25 years ago, my family and I moved out to the Bay Area, where I worked for several startup organizations in the Silicon Valley. And then 10 years ago, a dear friend of mine asked me to come work for his nonprofit, and I gladly accepted. It was a great opportunity. The organization is called Young Community Developers, and there I started as a trainer, but moved my way up to deputy director for Young Community Developers, and then found out about this great opportunity here at Friends of the Children. And I'm blessed. I'm very blessed to be selected as their second executive director.
What is the Friends of the Children?
Friends of the Children SF Bay Area is a chapter of a national organization that was organized over 30 years ago in Portland, Oregon. Each chapter of Friends provides long-term professional mentoring to these wonderful, wonderful children that we serve. We provide our mentors their full-time, paid salary professional mentors that mentor our youth. And as you said earlier, for 12 years plus, no matter what.
How did Friends of the Children San Francisco Bay Area started, and was it difficult?
So Friends of the Children Bay Area started as part of a national expansion that was taking place 7 years ago. Our chapter was established really to serve the unique needs of a community within the Bay Area and providing consistent long-term mentoring to the children that we serve. Two gentlemen, Michael Rugen, who was actually the first executive director and a current board member, and Abhi Talwalkar, our current board chair, started raising funds for the chapter in 2015. Our chapter enrolled our first class in 2017 here in Bayview Hunters Point, which is a community within inside of San Francisco. And I'm extremely thankful to Michael and to Abhi, who built and continue to contribute through partnership and generosity in Friends of the Children, San Francisco Bay Area.
How many youth does Friends of the Children San Francisco Bay Area serve?
We serve 120 youth in the organization. Across the organization, we continue to grow our program to reach as many children as we can and provide them the support that they really need.
And how long do children stay in your program?
They stay for 12 years plus, from the time they come in as kindergartners to the time they graduate. They'll actually be in with a mentor no matter what for 12 years plus until they graduate high school.
What if they move away? Is it somehow they can continue this program, or they have to be reside locally here?
Yeah, if they move away, and some do, sometimes families move long distances, but sometimes they just move up to another community, either north or south of San Francisco. And in that case, as long as they remain in our serving area, then we'll continue to serve them within a certain radius that we have. And we go as far as serving as far south as East Palo Alto and as far north, all the way up past Vallejo.
How often do the mentor meet with the children they serve? And what if the children is located far away from your facility?
So the mentors meet with the children a total of 16 hours, 4 hours each week, 16 hours a week that they meet with the youth. And there's a host of programming that they do to support them. As far as the distance, again, if they are too far out of our geographic perimeter, so to speak, our geographic area, then they'll be either referred to another program that is in another area, or if they have to, we can only serve within a certain radius. That's how the model is set up on a national basis. We have a very defined radius. Yeah, if they are located far away, each chapter has a geographic footprint that our national organization has us serve. And our footprint is a pretty large footprint from, like I said, as far south as East Palo Alto and as far north as Vallejo and beyond. And each chapter has a defined space as defined by our national organization. It's a lot of territory for us, and we love it. We love the children that we serve. To the extent that a child, and we see families move north for economic reasons, low cost of living reasons, and south for lower cost of living reasons, just because San Francisco can be pretty expensive to live in. To the extent that they go beyond that territory, then we'll have to look at how do we transition them to another chapter that they may be moving to, or just different services that can be provided to that youth, but they'll be outside of our scope of responsibility, if that makes sense.
Can you kind of describe a day that the child in your facility, what do they actually do?
That's a great question. So when a child comes to our facility, and we have a facility here in Bayview Hunters Point, they're greeted by their mentor. A lot of times the first thing that they do is what we call find their spark. Some of them like to play games, checkers or whatever. Some of them like to cook. And so we have a kitchen here that allows them to spend time in the kitchen and cook. We bridge that also to our mentoring work when it comes down to academics. So while a mentee is here working with their mentor cooking, it also can become a math class in the sense of, oh, you need a quarter of this or 3/4 of that. And if you add that together, what does that equal? And so we use those opportunities even in the what we call finding their spark time, to actually spend time with them and use every opportunity both to mentor them. As you know, or may not know, the children that we serve come from challenging backgrounds, very challenging backgrounds. By the time they reach us, they've experienced trauma and adverse childhood experiences. So it's an opportunity to actually mentor them on a number of different dimensions when they're here at the facility, including both social and emotional development, as well as their academics.
Do you match mentor with the children, or the children has able to pick who they want them to mentor them?
No, we match the mentor with the child. So in our model, female mentees have female mentors, male mentees have male mentors. And then we have a program director who works with either of the mentors, understanding after the assessment of the youth who would be the best mentor for that individual child based on the information we have about that individual child, based on information that we gain when we sit down and talk with their caregivers, likes and dislikes, etc.
So how do children find you?
Actually, it really starts in many respects with working with the school system. So we actually have a partnership with San Francisco Unified School District, which allows us to work with the actual 4 elementary schools where the children arrive at. And we actually go through a process of actually going through an assessment process with them, understanding their risk factors, spending time with their caregiver, and from that, basically putting together the matching them with the appropriate mentor, given their own lived experiences as well.
I went to your gala and I know donation is important to you. How are donations used in your organization?
In our organization, donations are used most importantly for the mentoring program. Programming is the largest portion of our organization. It's paying the salaries of our professional mentors. It also pays for outings and other events that mentors will take the mentees on, and then it pays for the overall overhead of the organization. We have an administrative staff. We have an operations person who works on all aspects of the organization, including our financials. So it pays for staffing as well.
Friends of Children San Francisco Bay Area is one of the chapter. Where does Friends of Children operate in the U.S.?
Oh, we operate across, actually coast to coast, from here on the West Coast, from Oregon all the way over to New York. We have 37 chapters here in the United States, and we all follow the same consistent mentoring process and program for the children that we serve.
What is the model of a Friends of Children?
The basic model of Friends is to provide each child a professional mentor. And this is national. Every chapter does the same thing. Each child's paired with a professional mentor. And again, I always like to go back to, and they're paired with a mentor for 12 years plus, no matter what. And that's very, very important. The model includes, as I said, the 16 hours per month that each mentor spends with each child. And it really is a model that has our mentors also empower not only the youth, but the families towards self-determination and success for the caregivers, providing them critical resources, support in school with the child, at home, and within the community itself. So it's for lack of a better term, a full service thorough mentoring program that not only just engages the mentee, but purposefully engages their caregiver.
Can you tell me what are the challenges you guys have?
Team knows me well. I look at challenges, quite frankly, Daphne, as opportunities. And there are challenges always on multiple fronts. There's challenges of making sure that one, first and foremost, and through our process and data collection, making sure that the mentor-mentee relationship is moving forward against the goals and outcomes that we set. It's an opportunity to make sure that we're always checking in with our mentors to get an assessment of how the mentee is doing based on data that they enter into our systems. It can be a challenge, quite frankly, when there's turnover in mentors. And so making sure that we have enough bandwidth to the extent that a mentor moves on to their next opportunity, that the child in a short period of time is assigned another mentor based on our history with the child and the history of the mentor. Fundraising is always an opportunity because it takes a pretty healthy budget to deliver the mentoring services to our youth, the children that we serve, and to the caregivers. We have a great development and communications team that spends every waking moment focused on making sure that we're funded appropriately from different funding streams to ensure that we have the economics, the dollars to support the program we serve. Those are probably the top priorities or opportunities, challenges that we face.
So you mentioned you are in San Francisco location for about 7 years.
Yes.
So you haven't really have any children gone through the entire 12 years?
That is correct. We are just moving, I shouldn't say just, we just had our third graduation class from elementary school children going into middle school. And then in a year or two, we'll have our next move where children in middle school, currently in middle school, will move on to high school. And with every one of those moves, there's always some sort of a transition.
Do they change a mentor when they move from middle school to high school, or they have the same mentor for the 12 years?
For many, we haven't hit the 12-year cycle yet. For a few, they've had mentors for the duration that they've been in the program, particularly for the younger ones. The elementary school mentors, they have the same mentor that they've had since they started. Some of our program managers actually have, when they first came in, they came in as mentors. So they had a full mentor mentee load that they would manage. As people are promoted within the organization, they have multiple responsibilities. They're both managing mentors and managing keeping their own workload of mentees. Usually when a person is promoted, we reduce the promoted individual's caseload from typically 8 to maybe down to 6 as one of our levels of managers handles. And then further down, depending upon the scope of the responsibility, like the program manager, his caseload is redistributed, and he has now 2 mentees that he works with. And there is a process in place, a transition process, as the mentees move from one mentor to another. We don't rush it. We take our time and make sure a smooth transition for the mentee as well as the caregiver that we serve.
It sounds like a one-on-one on your program, but do you have a group activities for the children you have?
Oh yeah, many times. That's a great question. Just last week they had a movie day, and so we probably had about 15 of the mentees come in and as a collective watch a movie day. They'll have a evening where they're just celebrating or cooking. They'll have a games night. Or they had a games afternoon a few weeks ago as well. So they were both one-on-one mentor-mentee engagement opportunities. There are large group mentor-mentee engagement opportunities, and quite frankly, everything in between, where sometimes 2 mentors will come together with either their boys or their girls and just do things together as well. Also, though, a growth moment. I know a lot of the fellows sometimes will take a couple of fellows will take the boys out to the park and play basketball. Again, the mentors know it's always a good teaching moment as well with regards to mathematics and things like that.
Wonderful.
It is. It really is. And to see the mentees grow and expand and live purposely and just advance in all aspects, advance social and emotionally. It's a wonderful, wonderful program.
Just curiosity, what are the qualifications for the mentors?
Qualifications, typically are one, you at a minimum to have a associate's degree, most have bachelor's degree. Qualifications, those are the paper, so to speak, qualifications. They go through a rigorous process. Our selection process to become a mentor is pretty rigorous. They'll do a first interview. They have to have a panel discussion with several of the mentors, existing mentors, to really understand their own lived experiences and how relatable they will be with a mentee, and really asking the question to them, why do you want to become on board and be part of the Friends of the Children SF Bay Area? After that, we have what we call a ride-along, where part of their selection process will observe them on a ride-along with one of the existing mentors and their mentee, and to observe their engagement with the mentee and the mentor, because it is a team. So it's a very thorough selection process that we go through. And there are some that don't make the cut, but I'm blessed to say that we have several, all the ones here made the cut, and they continue as mentors to rise and thrive.
It's not volunteer, right?
No, it's not. These are professionally paid mentors,
Okay.
not volunteer at all. And that's one of our key differentiations with other programs as well.
Sounds great. It's important for someone to mentor the youngster, guide through them growing years.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I reflect on, and I'm not sure if I said it at the last gala, but somewhere in our lives and somewhere in my life, I won't speak for everybody, but I was blessed to have mentors in my life. Started with my mom and dad, and started with, and I had 4 other brothers. Interesting enough, I had also a foster brother and a foster sister. But they mentored me from day one. And you can put brackets around the word mentoring, but it was really the coaching and the love and the caring that they provided. And so people ask me, Tim, how long have you been mentoring? And I say, quite frankly, I've been mentoring all my life. I've been mentored and been blessed to have mentors in my life. And I know I've lived through my own experience, having the benefits of mentors and the difference that they can make in a person's life, including my own.
Just like you always remember your favorite teachers, right?
Actually, yes, I do. Now that you called it, I'm thinking about a teacher that I had in college, and he always encouraged me to do great and wonderful and big things. I had mentors in my business world when I was on the for-profit world, and they encouraged me to do big things. As a matter of fact, they pushed me hard to do big things and open my eyes in some respects of the possibilities. And I attribute that and some of the successes I've had in places where I could go academically, and the positions that I've had, to just been blessed with wonderful mentors in my life. And I can say from my own lived experiences, mentorship really matters. Mentorship makes a difference. And when it comes from love, it has a positive impact on the receiver, the mentee. And I've been a mentee when I put it in that perspective.
Where is your website and how can people reach you?
Okay, our website is friendssfbayarea.org. friendssbayarea.org. If they go to the website, You'll be able to see our contact information. Just click the button and that'll provide the contact information on the website, as well as you can communicate over the website as well.
Wonderful. And Tim, I really thank you for your time and your informative interview here.
I thank you for the opportunity. I really do. I think just to reiterate again, I just marvel at the power and the impact of mentoring. I thank National for forming this wonderful organization over 30 years ago. I thank Michael and Avi for kicking it off and doing the initial fundraising. And I look at, when I walk outside, we have a full room of mentors here. They're actually getting some training. But many a day I'm also here where it's a full room of kids, and to see them find their spark.
I wish Friends of the Children San Francisco Bay Area continue to succeed.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Have a great day, okay?
You too.
All right, bye-bye.